So last year, the Browns went 7-10 in a season that was not supposed to be the best for them anyways. Their quarterback they paid so much money for was not going to be unsuspended until halfway through the season. They had to rely on Brissett to get the job done, and I mean, he did a decent job. He they went 7-10 last season. Couldn't really make the playoffs that well, but hey, the Browns at least, they showed improvement. They showed they're getting better just each and every game. It's just once Deshaun Watson came on the field, it was wondering how were the Browns going to do. Well, now this year we have Watson, who's not suspended anymore. No suspension for Watson. Nothing major right now for Watson. How is he going to do back in a full-time capacity under the Cleveland Browns offense? Now, we can talk a lot about the defense, which we'll get into defense in a little bit, but this Browns team has probably one of the best offensive lines you'll find in the NFL. Joe Bonillo and Wyatt Teller. I probably said Joel's name wrong. I never can say his fucking Bentonio, I think that's how you say it. Joel and Wyatt Teller are two of the best guards in the NFL to date, and they help these tackles like Jack Conklin and Willis Jr. Become better just under the Browns' actual offensive line. They learn from Wyatt Teller and Joel, and this offensive line helps people like Nick Chubb become one of the best running backs in the league. Now, of course, the Browns have lost their two-headed monster with Kareem Hunt leaving the free agency and not coming back yet. So it's going to rely mostly on the shoulders of Nick Chubb this season to get the job done for the Cleveland Browns. But I'm pretty sure they can do just that because Chubb is one of probably the top 3, maybe even the top running back in the league, if you really want to be honest with you guys. You also have a decent receiver, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones. This is not a bad team. David Njoku is also a top 10 tight end in the NFL. It falls on Watson to get the job done for this team. If Watson can play healthy, can play good, the Browns should be a serious contender this year. On the defensive side of things, you gotta just talk about one player in general, and that's Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett has been a dominating force on the defense for far too long, and the Browns know what they have in him. They also add Xavier Smith on the other side of Myles Garrett to add a double-edged sword on the sides of the defensive end spots. Now you're going to have a lot more attack on the quarterback with Xavier Smith and Myles Garrett giving pursuits. You also have Denzel Ward as the top corner right now for the Browns, and also Greg Newsome as the secondary corner. Really, I'm not really impressed by this front secondary. I said front. I was going to say front 4 of secondary, but no, I'm not impressed by the CBs. I'm not impressed by the safeties. Denzel Ward's a good corner and stuff like that, but besides that, you're kind of lacking in that compartment. This defense is revolved around Myles Garrett and Xavier Smith getting to their quarterback, and whenever Myles Garrett goes off, it shows. You can see it in the stat sheet, and you can see it in the scoreboard. So yeah, that's going to be the Browns bread and butter on the defense is to do that to them. Get pressure on the quarterback, just force passes, and good things will happen. Let's go over the scheduling and see what I predicted the schedule for the Browns this season is. So for the Cleveland Browns, I have them going an average of 6-11 this season, a ceiling of 10-6 if everything goes right, and a floor of 4-13. Now the reason I'm so low on the Browns this season is because I'm not that high on Deshaun Watson. I think he hasn't been really a good quarterback last season. I want to see him actually prove that he can do better, and that's why the ceiling is 10-6 for the Browns, in my opinion. Because if Deshaun Watson is what they all say he is, they'll win games, no questions about it. But it all depends around Deshaun Watson. If there's no Deshaun Watson, it could be 11-6, it could be 7-10. I would not even mind the Browns actually having a bad season, getting one of the top picks in the draft and drafting a quarterback and trying to unload Watson's contract somewhere else. I don't know how long they signed him for. I hope they didn't sign him for that long, because if they sign him for that long and then he stinks the place up like he's been doing last season, in my opinion, and also in training camp, he's kind of not the most accurate quarterback in training camp so far, in my opinion, as well. Again, this is just my opinion. Don't take it too seriously. Yeah, but that's my opinion on Deshaun Watson there, and I should put that in when I was talking about the rosters, but let's talk about the games, though. They beat the Bengals, lose to the Steelers in Pittsburgh, beat Tennessee. I think it's going to be a close game for Tennessee, by the way. That's why there's the mark there. Lose to the Ravens, bye week, and then they lose to the Niners. I think the Niners are one of the best teams in the NFC. No questions asked. Beat the Colts, lose to the Seahawks, beat the Cardinals, lose to the Ravens, losing both games. But in Cleveland, they have a chance. They beat the Steelers at home. Lose to the Broncos, lose to the Rams, lose to the Jaguars. They lose to the Bears in a close game. They beat the Texans, lose to the Jets, and they lose to the Bengals in their last game of the season. And I think that is my prediction for the Browns' schedule. So my final thoughts on the Browns this season is that it's going to rely on Deshaun Watson to get the job done. This team is a big run-heavy team, and Nick Chubb can get the job done, but at the same time, I don't see the Browns like in a division where they have high-powered offenses like the Bengals, and also a team like the Ravens. It's hard to compete in a division like this. It's not like the AFC South, where you can get away with having a run offense and a run team, and you don't really have competition in that division compared to like this division here, where you have two of the top teams probably in the AFC just in general. Like those two teams are going to be like top teams there that's going to be talking about and competing with. So you need to have more than just a run game, and if Watson does not produce, I don't see the Browns really doing that good of a season this year. Now, Nick Chubb is a beast. I think Nick Chubb's going to have a great season still. I think the offensive line is freaking monstrous and one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. However, if you can't pass and Watson can't get the job done passing-wise, it doesn't matter in the end of the day. So, yeah, this is a league where you have to rely on your quarterback play at the end of the day. It's not like the old days where you can actually get away with having a bad quarterback and just run the ball 24/7. So, that is my main thoughts about the Browns this season. You guys might not agree with me. You might disagree with me. Put it in the comments section. I don't mind being wrong in certain ways and having different opinions. I get it. There's different opinions in the NFL. This is just a prediction. This is a prediction video. It's also an opinion video. There's no bad or wrong opinions. So please leave in the comment section if you disagree with me. Thank you all for watching. Tomorrow, we're heading over to the AFC South to talk about that bad division. Yeah, we're going to talk about the AFC South next week, tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you there. Peace. Oh, and subscribe and like the video. Always. Remember that, guys. Love you. Subscribe. Peace. Bye.